Now, thought I might do a 500-hour review of the Teletubby. Now, that there is the direct result, and that's how you get rid of it. The dash died. Number one. Well, actually, that's number two. The orbital steering assembly in this one has been replaced once because it was making a fair bit of a squeaky noise. You may have heard in a couple other videos, you can hear it in the background a couple of times. But a couple of weeks ago the dash died, just virtually just black. It had power because it wasn't complete dead no power black, it was sort of backlit black, but there was nothing. Now the reason why it had that A on it before is they are all the one dash in all of these Series 3 cabins, and basically they have to be flashed for whatever machine it is, and my dealer took that dash out of that screen out of one of the machines they've got in stock, so I'm very grateful for them. I have no issues with the dealer at all. So we're waiting on a dash to come from the UK, which they said could take about 3 weeks, apparently, and then they'll bring that over and they'll put it in and hook it up to the laptop and flash it, and it will be right, because at the moment when you put it into gear, rather than telling you what gear you're in, you get that. When you're in reverse, and then when you're in forwards, you get that, because it came out of a 6-speed machine, so basically, and there's no point flashing it to this one if they're going to swap it back over and put it back in the original machine. This isn't the first dash they've done, hence they know what they're doing, even though these machines aren't that old. So obviously it's an issue JCB need to fix, do something about, because even though I've got an extended warranty on this, be absolutely stuffed if I'm paying $4,000 for a new screen every time it shits itself. So JCB, you need to do something about that. Another issue that I haven't had, that they have had, and I know other people on YouTube, particularly in the UK, has had issues with, is the electrical carriageway. I don't know what you call that stuff, like a chain linked type tracking stuff has snapped. That runs the electrics down for the quick hitch solenoid to unlatch. My dealer's fix, which I'm not keen on, is to go back to a manual tap on the RAM. You buy it how it is, for what it is, so you want it to actually do what it's meant to do. But they've had it happen to other machines, but we haven't had it happen as yet. And if it does, I want that replaced. I'm not having a tap down there. So that's possibly another JCB fix. Get it right. Third one, possibly the biggest pain in the ass one of the lot, is the air conditioning. When I was cleaning out the silage pit swamp to put the fill in, you basically had to have the window open and no air conditioning on because it was just blowing hot air. Thought it needed regassing. Nope, didn't need regassing at all. Mechanic turned up with a tap which they put in the heater line, and basically now you've either got tap on or off. So you've either got air conditioning on flat out or not at all, or you've got the heater on flat out or not at all. The reason being, there is a solenoid type, shut up, solenoid valve thing in the heater box. Once again, this isn't the first machine they've had an issue with. They've informed JCB that it's something they need to fix, because they've replaced this solenoid valve thing a couple of times in other machines and they've failed again. So for the time being, the fix was cut one of the heater hoses, put a quarter turn tap in. If you want the air conditioner, you've got to have the tap turned off. If you want a heater, you've got to have your tap turned on. So that isn't ideal, but at least it lets you have the air conditioner now when it's, not that it's hot today, far from it, but coming into summer, until JCB come up with a fix, which they damn well better, a recall of some description to get these heater box solenoid valves fixed. That is the only way we can do it. Now once that tap is turned off, so there's no hot water from the engine going through it, it virtually renders your temperature settings completely irrelevant, because it doesn't matter where you have that thermostat set, it's just freezing cold. Similarly, it didn't matter where you had that set, you could have it set to there, it was just blowing hot air. So tap on, it's just flat out hot air. Tap off, flat out cold. So once again, you pay for these machines, you expect them to do a job. So JCB better come up with a fix. But like I said, same with that dash. I'm not paying $4,000 for another dash when this next one fucks up too. So it's a known issue. Not sure how many other people out there that watch YouTube watch this, potentially might watch this, will have an issue or have had an issue or know of someone who has had an issue. But yes, they need to come up with a fix, because I'm not paying $4,000 for another screen, not when it's a known issue now. It's only got 500 hours on it. Like I said, they've had other machines, they're only a small dealer, a very small JCB dealer, and they've had another machine have the same issue. So it can't be limited to 2 machines at the one small dealership. It has to be, I'd hate to think how many other machines have had it. So JCB, fix it, and fix it properly. Apart from that, everything else is fine. Love the transmission, absolutely love the transmission. Haven't had an issue with that at all. Haven't had an issue with anything else. Oh, maybe just a couple little fit things like sometimes that sort of doesn't want to, but I always thought that was a bit dodgy from day one. Works alright going down, but sometimes when you push it back up, it just wants to bunch up and not retract in. So I'm sure that potentially they could come up with a better idea than that. And the only other little issue is that external mirror. It took me a while to work out what it was. It's like a squeaking noise, which I thought was coming from up in here somewhere. So I'd had all this apart numerous times and put bits of double-sided Velcro tape stuff in there because I thought, you know, this plastic stuff was sort of vibrating a bit. What it turned out to actually be was that mirror, that arm being that length, that mirror vibrates, and it makes the rattling noise comes from inside the mounting fixture. So there's this thing there is a bit of silicone spray into there occasionally, and that sort of shuts it up. But until you work out what it is, it can be damn friggin' annoying. So whilst it's a good idea to, well, I don't even think it is a good idea to keep that mirror, try and keep it in the line of the machine as best they can. The length of that bloody thing turns it into a pain in the bum. If you're going to do that, I would have thought it would be probably better to have reversed the mount onto the side of the cab here, and that would shorten that up by about 6 to 8 inches, or, you know, why you couldn't even put the mirror down on the headlight bracket down there. I mean, what difference does it make whether it's there or there as far as in your line of sight? So the other mirrors are over there in your line of sight anyway, so if you really wanted to have got it out the way, it wouldn't have been hard to have put the bloody thing there. A lot sturdier support for it. Just my thoughts anyway. Either that or leave it as it was, just out there. Anyway, like I said, apart from that, no other issues. So I haven't had an issue with this tracking as yet, but obviously it is an issue. That, definitely an issue. Air conditioning, big issue. So JCB, if you're watching this, you've got a few things to work on and recall. So that's it. Cheerio.